Hey, what's up, everybody? For your fix of fitness, health, life, and laughs, you know where it's at. That's right, it's at the Poecast with your host, yours truly, Adam Pullman.
What's up, sports fans? It is me, your host, Adam Pullman, also your fitness and nutrition coach that sits here answering your questions. You're so very welcome. Listen, if this is your first time, thanks for being here. This is the Poecast. This is where all of your health, fitness, and nutrition questions are answered. The questions that are sent in, like I said, are from listeners that are just like you. Listeners send in their questions on my Instagram story every single Sunday. So if you have a question that you want to have answered, whether it's about health, fat loss, muscle building, fitness, whatever it might be in regards to health, fitness, and nutrition, you can send those questions in on Instagram. If you go to my handle, Adam_PullmanFit, you'll find me there. And then every Sunday on my story, you will see a question box that says, ask me a question. That is your green light to submit as many health, fitness, and nutrition questions that you may have. And I will take some of those questions that are sent in over the course of that day, and I will answer them here on the show. The question that we'll be discussing today is about knowing when you need to add weight. So a lot of people, especially when they're first starting to work out, even intermediate lifters, are often a little confused on knowing how to handle that. When is it appropriate for me to add more weight? How do I know maybe I'm doing too much weight? How do you find that sweet spot? So that's what we're going to be discussing today. Before we get into that, I just want to remind you guys that we have plenty of free resources for you, like articles and guides, so you can get more information to help you along your health and fitness journey. So if you go to pullmanfitness.com/free, you can find all of that there. In addition to that, if you enjoy and appreciate what I do, I would encourage you to check out our Eat More, Get Leaner ebook for $7 that is going to teach you how to build a faster metabolism for better long-term fat loss. So that's at the Pullman Fitness store. So that's at pullmanfitness.com/store. And that's where you can get that Eat More, Get Leaner ebook. Your support allows me to continue doing things like this, allows me to continue making content that helps you in your health and fitness journey. So showing your support that way would be greatly appreciated. And if you're not feeling that, you can also leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. That would be a big help, letting all your friends and family know what you appreciate about this show. So anyway, thank you for being here. Show your love and support however you see fit. Let's get into this question. Today's question is, you know what? I actually lied to you guys. I said that the question today would be coming from Instagram, which we do have some Instagram questions over the course of this week, but today's question is actually going to come from TikTok. I got this question a couple days ago on my account, and I thought it was a great question that, frankly, I haven't discussed in a while, and something that I feel like could help a lot of people out as they're going through their workouts in the gym. So the question was, how do you know when to increase weight? Now, this is a big question that a lot of people tend to struggle with. Or a big topic, I should say, that they tend to struggle with. They're not really sure how much weight they should be lifting. They're not really sure when to increase that or when to decrease that. So that's why I wanted to talk about this question or answer this question today. So in the past, we have been told that it's super important for us to go to failure when we work out. Okay, that would mean that if you had 10 reps, in your set, you are going to use a weight that allows you to fail, meaning you literally can't do any more at 10 reps. Okay, now it is beneficial and can be beneficial when used sparingly, but the issue is too many people have relied on that message, and over time, it puts a lot of stress on the muscles, the tissues, and the central nervous system, and over the course of time, it can actually negatively impact your ability to progress, whether it's muscle building, strength, whatnot. So instead of shooting for absolute failure, what we want to do is shoot for fatigue on more of a consistent basis. Now, the question is, what is the difference between, between fatigue and failure? What does fatigue actually look like if failure is using a weight that allows you to get to 10 reps, failing at 10 reps? What does fatigue look like? And I like to describe fatigue like this. Let's go through the same scenario again. Let's say you're trying to hit 10 reps, okay? In those 10 reps, or in that set, I should say, you're going to select a weight that allows you to hit 10 reps, knowing that you could only do 1 or maybe 2 more reps after that if you absolutely had to. So let's say you're doing a dumbbell bench press. You grab a set of dumbbells, you get to rep 8, it's challenging, get to rep 9, it's getting difficult, but you can still do it. Get to rep 10, it's a big challenge, but it's definitely doable. That's your stopping point. But you know in the back of your mind that you could do 1, 2, maybe 3 more reps because you have that left in the tank. So if someone came up to you and they were like, put a gun to your head, which I know is super dark, but that's what we're going to use as an example. And they're like, you have to do 1 to 3 more reps. You know you could do that. This isn't something where at rep 10, you're barely pushing through. You're struggling and giving all of your energy and your might and your strength to finish that set. That's failure. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about fatigue. So you get to 10 reps knowing that you, if you absolutely had to, could do 11, 12, maybe 13 reps. But you're still stopping at 10, ending that set, putting the weights down, and then grabbing another set of dumbbells for that next set. Now, the question then probably becomes, okay, that's great, but I have no clue what amount of weight that is for any exercise. And that's completely okay. You're never going to know exactly what weight you need to select. You're never really going to know that, especially when you're starting out. So what will happen over time as you gain more experience in the gym, as you lift more, as you get to learn more about your body, as well as your strength thresholds, you'll begin to narrow down the range of weights that you may want to select for that given set. I've been training forever, okay? Not forever. I've been training for a long, long time. And there will still be sets where I grab a weight and I do, let's use the same example, I do 10 reps and I'm like, oh, I definitely could have got 15 if I had to. That was too light. And so I say, okay, that's fine. That's set 1. I'll increase the weight for set 2. Similar thing is going to happen. You're never going to know perfectly because where your strength is at in day 150 or year 3 is going to be completely different than day 1. Okay, you're just going to get a better idea of where you're at, and you're going to be able to better gauge how you should make adjustments after completing sets. So when you're first starting out, you might grab 30 pounds for that dumbbell bench press, and you can only get to 5 reps. That's okay. That's okay. You know what? You're going to count that as a set. And then you're just going to go on to the next one, okay? Or if you really wanted to, you could just decrease the weight and finish the set. But since you only got to 5 reps and that was likely failure because you couldn't get to 6 or 10, I would just count that as a set. But anyway, so that leads me to another thing. What happens if you grab the weight and you can't get to 10? Okay, or how do you know? Obviously, if you have too much weight, you know it's too much weight because you're trying to get 10 reps and you can only get 8. Okay, or you can only get 8 or 9 knowing that, let's say you push yourself to the extreme limit to get to 8 or 9 and you need a spot for 10. That would be too heavy. Okay, and then obviously too light is grabbing a set of dumbbells, doing the dumbbell bench press, and doing 10, knowing that you very well could have done 20 if you really pushed yourself. That's far too light. So that's kind of how you use that range and that gauge to figure that out. And you will certainly get better at figuring that out for yourself over time as you get to learn more about your body and its strength. Guys, thank you for tuning in to this episode. If you have a question that you would like to send in to have me answer here for you on the show, you can do that on Instagram. My handle is Adam_PullmanFit. That is where you can find me to submit your question every single Sunday on my story. And then if you appreciated this episode, you enjoyed it, and you know someone that needs to hear it, spread the love. Share this episode with your friends and family. Let them know that this is where they can go to get all of their health, fitness, and nutrition questions answered.
Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it is over already. Hey, thank you guys so much for listening to the Poecast. Hey, listen in. If you have a health and fitness goal that you are trying to reach, I don't know what else to say other than to say it must be a match made in heaven. If you didn't know already, Pullman Fitness exists to transform the body, mind, and spirit through personal coaching and sustainable fitness plans for any stage of life. So, if you want to reach your goals, build sustainability, and enjoy life all at the same time, you guys got to check out Premier Coaching at Pullman Fitness. From custom-tailored programming to 24/7 access to your personal coach, you'll have everything that you need to succeed. You guys can find out a lot more about Premier Coaching as well as our membership program at PullmanFitness.com. Hey, if you enjoyed the show, share the love by leaving a 5-star review and introducing the podcast to your friends and family. As always, thank you so much for listening. And until next time, this is the Poecast.